everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. Welcome if this is your first time, and welcome back if I haven't seen you since Vlogmas. It's been a few days. It is weird when you make a video every day and then you just stop and it's like, oh, okay, I'm not making videos now. But I've kind of missed doing it, so I've missed you. So hi, how's it going? I hope you had a good holiday season. I hope it was happy and healthy and maybe restful. I hope you've had some peaceful, maybe creative days, these days in between the holidays and January. As we head into this new year, I hope you're just settling in and ready for whatever is next. I will say there's going to be a lot of these videos coming at you in the next couple of weeks. Videos, posts from people who are showing everything they've accomplished this year and everything they've knit this year and all their beautiful things that they've done. And so I just want to be the one who says, it's okay if the biggest thing you did this year was just getting through it, because none of this matters and it's not a competition, and I don't knit as fast as many other knitters out there, and it doesn't matter. It is okay if you didn't knit anything this year. It's okay if you're not a knitter or a maker or whatever, you just like to watch these. And it's okay if you usually do more than you did this year and the best you could do was just getting through this year, because that's enough. So sending all the love to you no matter where you're at in all of this. And I will say, I was not gonna make this video. I've never made what I knit in 20 blah, 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 whatever year video. I've never done a recap or anything like that, because I've always felt like I haven't made enough to show. And then I realized it doesn't matter and nobody cares. And we just all like to see, I think, some inspiration and some creativity and some ideas, and just to look. I love watching other people's videos just to see what they're doing. And it doesn't mean I have to do that, but you know what I mean? But it is fun to share the inspiration and just see what you've done. So this isn't like, look at me, I made all these things. It's not like that. And I don't feel like that. I feel like everybody's better than me and I shouldn't even bother. But I am gonna share some things this year just kind of for memory's sake, because I forgot what I did this past year. Just thinking back to last January, I just remembered what I was doing 1 year ago. I was working on 2 full dresses for the Vogue Knitting Live fashion show in New York City. And I had a month to make them. I had to make one regular size, whatever that is, dress for a model to wear down the runway. And I had to make one plus size, whatever that is also. I had some measurements to go off of, but that doesn't matter either. I had to make 2 full garments for the runway in about a month's time, starting at like Christmas time through mid-January, and then I shipped them to New York City. So I'm gonna show that because I am proud of that. And I almost forgot that that's what I was doing at the beginning of 2023. So anyway, before I get into all that, this is my little preface before the video starts, that it really doesn't matter. We're all amazing, whatever we're doing. The number of things you knit in a year doesn't matter, but it's fun to share and see what other people are up to. And that's all I'm doing here. Not a competition, not looking for like, you're amazing, 'cause I'm not. But I will get into what I made in 2023. I have it all laid out on the couch here. And another cool idea that I didn't completely do correctly, like I didn't complete it, but I will show you this. I saw this from a repost from Modern Daily Knitting on Instagram last year, and I don't remember the original poster who came up with this, but I'm trying to track it down. So if you know, put it in the comments and I'll add it to the notes. But someone last year posted this idea, and I thought it was very clever to keep track, not to keep track, but to even just document what you've done in a year and how many skeins of yarn you've gone through. So you make a paper chain of the yarn labels. Let me show you. This is not even all of them, but it's kind of fun. And I lost some some ripped off and I can't find them. I don't know, because this got to be a little bit crazy to keep track of, but so this is not all of them, but this is fun. So this is my yarn label paper chain for 2023. Some of it, it's very random, but you can tell this whole first section is Rowan, and this is the dresses for the fashion show, and I'll show you those in a minute. But that is kind of a cool idea if you want to try it. Once again, I lost some ripped and I just threw them away, but isn't that kind of interesting? And it is, I have used this a couple times to look back at yarn information and quantities. So it is kind of a good record keeper if you can like do it better than me and, you know, more organized. Okay, I'm not gonna go in order, but I am gonna start with the dresses and the garments I made for the Vogue Knitting Live fashion show. It's called the Kaleidoscope Fashion Show. And it was last January at the end of the month in New York City. And I was very excited to do something very different. And if you didn't know, I am a knitwear designer. I write knitting patterns and I write knitting books and all that good stuff. And so this was like a very outside the box challenge. We were supposed to incorporate one recycled material. We're supposed to make 2 garments, 2 different sizes. And I can't remember the other requirements, but I think that was about it. There was like some little things you had to do, but that's what I remember from it. And we had a month to do it. So here is what I made. And I ended up making extras, and I made myself another matching top that I don't have in this pile, so I could wear something to the fashion show that went with my models. And I'm gonna add some footage here of the actual fashion show and the video I got that day. So watch this first. so here are the Rowan garments. All of this was made in Rowan big wool, and it's gonna be dark because I used black and this smoky navy color. So I'm sorry if it's hard to see, but I was going for a dark vibe here. So this first piece was a plus size dress with some 3D elements and some like cording on the sleeves that I made with I-cord. So it's a short sleeve dress. And I should have tried it on because this does kind of fit me. I had it with leggings and boots one time, but so it's kind of, I do not know how to talk about this. I had drawings first that I submitted with my ideas, and I wanted some 3D aspects and also some little pieces hanging off. And this is, the black is recycled t-shirt yarn that I made. And so that was my recycled element. And then the rest is Rowan big wool in this shade Smokey that I don't believe is available anymore, and then black. And this looked amazing on the model. This was so fun. I'm sorry, it's been in like storage downstairs, so it's a little wrinkly, but that is the full dress. It looked very cool going down the runway. This was like fluffed better, but that is the first garment. Then the outfit for the second model was a top and a very long skirt with a train. And it also had the little fringies. So this is the top. It's like kind of a sleeveless top with these two little cord things over the shoulders and some fringies hanging out on the sides. I love this. And then the collar is that recycled t-shirt yarn. I put a little piece back here so you knew where the back was. And I love how futuristic and almost like, what's that movie? I'm thinking of a movie, but I'm not gonna think of it right now. Anyway, not Mad Max necessarily, but like a futuristic, like cool modern look is with, you know, darkness is what I was going for. So that's the top that went for the second outfit. And this is the one I made a matching one for myself with a few more fringies. I think I had double rings around my arms for mine. I have to go find mine. And then I wore it to the fashion show, you know, so I could kind of look like I went with my models and garments. And then this is the skirt, which is very long. So it's like a long maxi skirt with a train. So this looked so cool floating behind her, sorry, chair. And I put elastic in the waist. And then there's a slit. Let me turn it. There's a slit here to make it easier to walk. It's a little bit heavy, but this elastic is heavy duty and it really holds it up nicely. And then the train, and then I've got these moving pieces that are like the little strands coming off of it just to make it look a little bit cool, like it goes with the whole vibe of the gowns. And then yeah, this train was kind of amazing. It's really hard to show here just holding it up, but it was like dramatic and dark and cool. So I made these garments. Oh, and then there was another cowl piece that I added at the end to the second outfit that was like a double layer ring to add to that little tank top situation that looked kind of cool. And I had this in storage with the dresses and I'm totally gonna get it out and wear it myself now because it's just a really nice, it's the big wool, again, the Rowan, and it's like a double tube, and that is such a good cowl. So yeah, I think she wore it long, maybe. I don't remember what we did, but that was like the third element to that second outfit. And so I spent so much time on those pieces, and you don't really know your models. Like I'm in Iowa and this is in New York City, so I had to mail these garments, and then I think they had a model fitting, but you didn't know, like, is this gonna fit someone? But I had a pretty good idea, and my models rocked these pieces, and I was just like, it was the coolest feeling to be there and to go backstage and witness all of this, and then it's gone and done in 2 seconds. It's over. They walk, the music, you know, they go, 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 walk, turn. It's just like, what? I have knitwear things I hand knitted and came up with, like in a notebook, that I made, and then they're on a runway in New York City. It was just like, it still kind of freaks me out that that actually happened. So yeah, when I was thinking of like, oh, I shouldn't do a recap or I have nothing worthy of showing, this is like the one thing that I do want to remember from 2023 is that I did these fashion show dresses and they did kind of kick butt. So I will like pat myself on the back for that because it was a very quick turnaround also. Anyway, on to the next thing. Okay, this is a fun one. At some point last year, I decided to make a Kaleidoscope sweater by Knit Collage with a whole bunch of my leftovers. A lot of this is Knit Collage, and some of this is just super bulky from my stash that's left over from other sweaters and projects that I've done over the years, because I save all of it. When I have extra bulky chunks left over, I save it in a special bag, and then I knew someday I would do something like this where it's just all of it put together in the best way, very randomly. And if you look back, I have a video of me doing this because I knit this in a weekend at some point. I wonder if it was like February or spring of last year, or this year. We're still in 2023, whatever. It was this year. And I had a blast doing this, and it was just a dare to myself to see if I could finish it in a weekend, and I did. And it's just the most fun, random, super fun sweater with just these, you know, mixed up pieces of all of this stuff mixed in, like the fabric yarn from Knit Collage, the ones with the blobs of like sparkle, everything, a little yellow because I have to. So this was so much fun. That's my Kaleidoscope sweater from Knit Collage, knit out of all my leftovers and a few skeins of Knit Collage. I can't remember if you, so some of their patterns you have to join their knit alongs to get the patterns, but I think this might be available on its own now, I think, but I'm not totally sure. But this was, I think, my first Knit Collage sweater actually from their pattern. So that was a fun one, and in a weekend, because you really can. I think this is knit on US 19 needles, so you can really do it in a weekend. You just have to kind of take some breaks for your hands and wrists because it can be a lot. But I love this sweater, and it was so much fun, and I love it. The next thing, and I made 2 of these actually, and I'm totally forgetting things. I know I'm forgetting things. I just couldn't find everything downstairs when I looked through these piles. And I'm definitely forgetting accessories, hats, mittens, scarves, and stuff like that. I don't even think, this is just maybe the main things I made in 2023, so let's just not keep track. But I did make 2 of these. This is the Me Time tee. And it's a little, there we go. So I made 2 of these. This is for Madelinetosh. This is a design that I wrote last year, probably in January. And I knitted a sample for them in a little bit of a lighter color that was almost pink taupe, like a little bit lighter than this. And then I found, and I had to send that to them so they could have a sample of it. And it's knit in their wool cotton yarn. I think it's called Wool Plus Cotton. And it's a great yarn. I love this yarn. I want to make every sweater in this yarn. So I sent off that sample. I knitted it, I think in January again, maybe January, February, sent it off. And then I saw this color of wool and cotton Madelinetosh in this color called Birkenstock. And I had to have it just because it was called Birkenstock and it just spoke to me. And I love, love, love. It is a basic t-shirt. It is just a little boxy with kind of a longer sleeve that hits mid-arm, almost elbow, but not quite. And it is a raglan. It is knit top down in one piece, and it has a nice little neck detail, a very, very nice crew neck that is like what I consider the perfect crew neck, with some shaping in the back that makes it stay up on the back of your neck, and nice little hem at the bottom. And it's just such a cute base layer or staple piece for spring and summer that's very easy to wear. This yarn is so soft and nice and just lays really nicely and hasn't pilled at all since I've made it. And I just love this t-shirt. So it's called the Me Time Tee. It is by me and it's a Madelinetosh yarn, wool and cotton, and I love it. Birkenstock. That would be great in any color. This would also be good in like a linen maybe, or just any cotton, or you can do it in wool too. And you could also just keep knitting the sleeves and make it long sleeved. It'd be very easy to make this long sleeved. But that's the Me Time Tee, and I love it. I just remembered there's another t-shirt I knit that I do not have anymore. That is, you maybe saw me knitting it earlier this year. I made a bright yellow mohair t-shirt by Loopy Mango. Let me go look at the name of it because it's not even on my list because I totally forgot. Okay, that one was called the Loopy Mango Mohair Puff Sleeve Top. And it's a mohair t-shirt with slightly puffed sleeves, boxy, light as air, and they're mohair knits on a US 15 or 17 needle. So that one took a couple of days also. And I remember having a lot of fun knitting it, and I'm so sorry I don't have it here, but I have a picture and maybe a video that I will put right here. So that was a really fun knit and a fun thing to wear. That's just a different layer, even over a long sleeve shirt. It looks really cool, but that's a really fun, different knit for me because I don't usually use just mohair. And so I really liked knitting that. And I do want to make another one in their champagne color. It's like a almost tan brown. That looks beautiful. And they styled it with these black leather pants that it looks very, very cool. Anyway. Continuing on. At some point this summer, maybe July, Stephen West had a surprise sock along called the Contrast Blast socks. And these were so much fun. I love this stinking sock. I think it's so cute. Did I finish the second one yet? I did not, but I will. Even at the top, there's this fun cable detail that goes into the zigzags, into the bricks. This heel is so cute. I loved doing this heel. It's so simple, but so striking. And his instructions were pick colors that are a huge contrast. So I really did try to do that with this dark teal and this bright, bright yellow. And these are both Madelinetosh Twist Light. And then it goes into the stripes on the foot and then just a kind of regular toe, but it is ribbed. So that was a fun toe. So this was a blast. It was a blast to knit, and I do plan on finishing the other sock because I do want to wear these. They were really fun to knit, and the pattern is still on Ravelry. If you want to make a pair, you don't have to do the knit along part. You can just do it yourself whenever you want. But I highly recommend Stephen West's sock patterns. They're awesome, super fun. Another thing that I made this summer was the Purl Soho Dumpling Bag, which is so cute and fun. This is made with their Blackbird linen, and it has, you know, like the long strap and a short strap that folds in on each other to do this type of thing. And the construction's really, really cool. It was super fun. I love just, you know, carrying this around. You can even put your knitting in it. It's definitely one of those kind of bags where there is like a little opening here if you want your knitting to come out the top. And it was just really fun. That was like a fun, quick little summer project that didn't take much time, but turned out really cool, I think. Adorable. At some point in the year, I realized I was missing a yellow cardigan in my life. And so I made the Morchella cardigan in Modern Daily Knitting Atlas yarn. And it is a gorgeous, squishy rib. This yarn is the softest and is very, very nice to wear. This one feels like a sweatshirt and very cozy. Drop shoulder construction with the double knit band, which was a little tricky, but it was worth it. And then my favorite detail, there's pockets also. My favorite thing about it is these turtle buttons. And if you know, we have a pet tortoise back there named Mimo. He's a Russian tortoise and he's very fun. And I had these little tiny wooden buttons from Katrinkles that I don't know if she still makes anymore, but I just felt like this was the perfect time to finally use them. So I put my tortoise buttons on my Morchella cardigan and I have no regrets. I love it so much. And then each button you stitch through his shell. It's so cute. So that was just a fun detail. But yeah, I love the pockets. It's very, very cozy. It's kind of a deeper V. It goes a little bit low. And then it doesn't have like a band at the bottom. It just goes straight down with the rib. It's kind of a corrugated rib. And then that's pretty much the shape of it. It's just straight rib, kind of a straighter sleeve and then narrows at the end, and just kind of a fun little knit. The sample is in oatmeal, which also looks really nice. So I've been thinking about getting an oatmeal cardigan on the needles, but this was a very fun knit for this year. The Morchella cardigan, I'm forgetting her name, hold on, let me look up her name. The designer of the Morchella cardigan is Whitney Hayward. And if I have been forgetting to give designer information, I am so sorry. I am a little out of it between the holidays and January and this busy time, but I will put everything below. I'll put all the details and the links and all that stuff and yarn information. This is Atlas and the color is Pear and it is my favorite chartreusey yellow and it's Rambouillet wool. It's very, very nice. If you're looking for a good worsted, this is a really nice one for sweaters. It feels really good. This is a sweater that I probably started a year, maybe 2022, but I finished it in 2023, so it counts as 2023. But this is my pattern and it's called Francis. And in the original pattern, it is a 2-color sweater where all this color work is done in yellow and the main color is a gray, dark navy color. And so I decided to do a multicolored version, which looks completely different. If you see the sweater side by side, I'll show you a picture right here of the regular original Francis. And also the original Francis is knit in yarn that is no longer available. It's called Island Blend by Rowan. And so I also wanted to knit this sweater in another yarn that is available now called Felted Tweed, which is my go-to. I love felted tweed. It comes in a million colors, as you can see. And I had a lot of scraps left over, so I used those scraps in this color work, which look how good. This yarn looks so nice, especially just like a little steam block. It's so even and beautiful, and I love how the sweater feels. I wore this for a bit at Rybeck, but not very long. I should have worn it more because it's really a fun one. And it kind of just feels like a comfy sweatshirt. The bottom is just solid gray. But this color work was a blast. It is very, very fun color work because the designs are very, very short and there's no, like, 0 floats to carry. So go check out Francis on Ravelry. It's also available as part of my Modern Women's Knits book by Quail Studio and Rowan Yarns. And so yes, I was very happy to get this off the needles finally and done and able to wear it. I need to wear this more. I don't wear it enough. I really, really love it. It's really fun. Rowan Felted Tweed by Jen Geigley, Francis. I'm saying everything backwards, right? Another thing I made in 2023 that I do not have physically here is the Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock North giant blue scarf that I showed during Vlogmas that I designed for Farm and Fibers, which is a new publication. And it's like a giant wraparound scarf that's reversible with a textured pattern, and I'll show you the professional pictures that they took right here. I loved knitting this scarf. It was such a fun, big layering piece, and I haven't done one of those in a while. And I love a big scarf. I love it's reversible. I love how it doesn't curl in on itself. It has a nice border. It has a nice width, and it's a big, long scarf in that Lenny Kravitz scarf way, but not too much. It's actually wearable. And I love the yarn that it's knitted in. It's Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock North, which is their new bulky yarn, and it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The color blue that I used is called Loon Lake, and this is called the Loon Lake Scarf. Forgot to mention that. So it's called the Loon Lake Scarf. It's for Farm and Fibers magazine, and it's in Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock North. And it's just a really fun statement piece that will actually keep you warm and looks super cool. And it's by me, if I didn't mention that. I designed it this summer and knitted it and sent it away, so I don't have it. But I do have these beautiful pictures, and that's good enough for now. My most recent sweater that you might have seen in the past couple of months is the Selena Slipover by Knit Collage. And this is an oversized, multi-stripe, multi-yarn pullover with drop sleeves, and it's kind of long, and it uses a big mix of their yarns that I wound together in a magic ball where I felted the ends together with a needle felter tool, like a needle. And then the purple, the light purpley periwinkle color, is a strand of sock yarn. I used Rowan sock in a dark purple color that was a little variegated. It went from dark to light purples. And then I used a strand of Mohair from Sandus yarn. I can't remember what it's called, but it's one of their Mohair. It's the alpaca one, I think. Wow, it's all coming back to me. I'm so sorry. But just a strand, one strand of each of those. And it went so far that I'm still amazed how far not very much yarn went in this big, big sweater because it's knit on big needles once again. So this was knit on, I want to say 15s for the periwinkle section and 17s for the big stripes. And it's based on Only Murders in the Building. Selena Gomez's character, Mabel, wears a sweater similar to this, different colors, but very, very similar to this in a part of the show. And we were all kind of obsessed with the sweater and the show. And so this is called our Selena Slipover, which I was just very excited to make this year. Cheryl Kubat from Knit Collage had one on Rybeck a couple years ago, I think, or was it this past year? And I was obsessed. I'm like, I have to make it, I have to make it. And they said the pattern's coming out, don't worry, it's gonna happen. And so I just jumped on it and made one as fast as I could. And I made this in a weekend. It was like a long weekend. It was like a weekend, Friday to Monday-ish, where I finished it in the morning on Monday. But I'm gonna call it a sweater in a long weekend, which is a success to me. So that was really fun. And the last sweater is the one I'm wearing. And I knit this in the car on a road trip, if you'll remember, maybe you were following along at that time. In October, our family drove to California from Iowa, which is a 2-day trip, 12 hours each day. With breaks, it's more like 13, 14 hours a day. But my husband does a lot of the driving, which is so kind of him, honestly. And so I had a lot of knitting time. So I made my Rybeck sweater in the car in basically 4 days of driving. 2 there, I finished it on the 2 back, and I really did finish this sweater. I think I had started this much. I was just ready to start this color work So I had the collar done prior to the trip, and the rest of the entire sweater I knit in the car on the way to and from California, which is just so full of good memories. And this color work was really, really fun. This is Spin Cycle, Stay Out of the Forest, I believe. And so it's a mix of like yellow, orange, red, blue, purple. And in this, it just looks really fiery and bright and cool against this kind of darker navy color. And the navy is called, I think, Indigo Black or Navy Black or Indigo Black. And this is by Sauk Hill Farm. This is my Rybeck yarn from 2022. So I used that to make my Rybeck sweater for this year. And my friend Erica also made this sweater. I haven't even said what the sweater is called, have I? This is the Throwover by Andrea Mowry. And it's a few years old, but I've always loved this design, and I love these little baby stripes here and this chevron, but how the spin cycle blends in it is just really fun to watch. And I did have to split up my spin cycle a little bit into coordinating balls of color so that it made this effect, because like I wanted my oranges to go together, to fade into the red, to fade into the blue purple, and then I wanted it to go up this way and back down this way when I got to the lines. And so I did kind of do that on purpose with my spin cycle. I know some people have asked about that. So sometimes I just wind it into little balls of colors that look the same, so you can kind of make it do what you want it to do. But I am very, very happy with this sweater. It fits really nicely. The length is just perfect. It hits at the hip. The sleeve length is perfect. It's not too tight. There's like a little roominess here, which is just right. And I'm super happy with this sweater. And that's kind of everything I made in 2023, I think, except for some stuff I'm forgetting, but this is most of it. So if I count it all up, it's about 9 sweaters, a very long skirt with a train, a knitted dress, what else? A bag, a scarf, the t-shirts. Anyway, it's a year's worth of knits that I'm very proud of and I'm happy to share, and I hope you enjoyed watching this little recap. But thank you for hanging out with me and going over my year of knits with me, because I really honestly forgot what I had done this year. You know how you just keep going and moving and picking things, and it's just, you know, the next thing and the next thing, and there's so many things to knit out there and you just can't do it all, but you do what you can do, and it's different for all of us. We all have different amounts of time and energy and capabilities. There's, you know, there's injuries and surgeries and all kinds of stuff. So I'm feeling you if you're not feeling up to doing all this all the time. I get it. I really, really get it. And sometimes as a knitwear designer, there's extra pressure to do like the knit work design stuff, which is different than like the fun stuff that you want to do. And I'm one of those designers that doesn't just knit my own things, I knit other people's things, like Andrea Mowry and Stephen West. I love knitting other designers' patterns. I'm always learning, always knitting some of my things, some other people's things. I love sharing both. So I hope you liked hanging out with me and seeing what I made this year. Let me know in the comments if you've made any of these same things or completely different things, or what you're hoping to make next year, or what your favorite thing was that you made this year. It's always fun to inspire each other and see what we're all up to, and that's my favorite part of knitting, is the friendships, the community, and seeing what everybody else is making, because that is just really fun. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and checking out my knits of 2023. I hope you had a good holiday season, and I hope we're all headed into an awesome new year ahead. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos in the new year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.